So welcome again to our outreach in the 14th District with particularly in honor of Women's History Month. And so I've been able to meet and talk to some very accomplished women in the 14th District and people who are actually involved and active in their communities and trying to make the 14th a better place to live. And I'm joined today by Jenny O'Connor, who lives in Wheeling. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
I know that you are both a published author and speaker, and that you have a very active lifestyle, and that you're also dealing with a number of issues that you might be able to share with us today in ways that you can tell us how other people can get involved in our communities in the 14th District, from the Edens all the way west to the edge of Inverness, which is kind of like living in Idaho. So first off, I want to thank you for being here today. And can you just tell the people in the 14th a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So I'm Jenny O'Connor. I am, in fact, a published author. I wrote Rituals for Feminine Power and its teen edition, and I'll also be in a women's empowerment book that's coming out in the next couple of months here. I'm a speaker, and I own Studio Phoenix, which is a women's aerial dance and fitness studio. So we do pole dance, we do lyra, we do cheer dance, anything that's fun, parties, all of that good stuff. So I actually found aerial through my own personal needs. I have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. So I still have some days where I'm in a wheelchair and some days where I'm flying through the air, but I am always moving forward. So I absolutely fell in love with aerial, especially pole dancing, and wanted to bring that to other women's lives. And so that's what led me to open Studio Phoenix.
Can you tell me just generally a little bit about how you get involved in the Wheeling community or the general community of the 14th District, both in your role as a woman and in your advocacy role?
Absolutely. So obviously Studio Phoenix is a very large part of what I do in our community. Just being able to see women's lives be changed every single day, and them stepping into their power and their confidence, and getting photos from my students in bikinis saying, this is because of you that I have this level of confidence. And I really believe that working with people on a grassroots level is so important, especially for things like this, where it's all about building that inner confidence and empowerment. I've also worked closely with my daughter, who heads up the feminism club at her school, and was on their feminism panel there, because I feel like, especially junior high and high school girls, it's so important that we reach these girls now when they're just starting to have that relationship with their bodies, and they're receiving so many conflicting messages from the media, from their peers, on what they should look like, how they should feel. And so I really feel that reaching kids now, I work with women and I see the results of years of all these messaging. And so to reach kids now is so important. So part of my coaching is working with teens too, but primarily women.
That sounds great. And I know that my 24-year-old daughter, I did everything her mother and we could to empower her and to give her all the confidence she can have. Sometimes I think she may have taken it to the point where she's certainly plenty confident, and certainly in her conversations with her father, but that's okay. That's probably so I just wanted to kind of drill down a little bit on if there's like one thing that you could identify for the people in the 14th who might be listening to this. Is there something that you have take the most pride in, or you feel like that you've accomplished that gives you the most personal satisfaction and all that stuff you've done, particularly for women's empowerment?
As I said, the grassroots effort is so important to me. And I had the opportunity to work as a cheerleading coach for a while, and just pouring into those kids' lives and seeing the changes that I was able to make in just a short season. But seeing my own daughters, standing up for the rights, standing up for people who have maybe less of a voice in society. That's, as a mom, that's honestly what feels like the biggest accomplishment to me. So, as I said, one daughter heads up a feminism club. The other is involved as a volunteer with special abilities kids in her school to help them feel welcomed and part of everything. And I think that honestly is my biggest contribution, is if I can help raise up this next generation of kids to just take over the world in the best way possible. That absolutely is my best accomplishment.
So are there any suggestions you can give to people who might also want to try to get involved in any aspect of either the work that you do, or like your daughter's work, or any of the other aspects of trying to give a guidance to, between our young people, special needs individuals, or just women generally?
Absolutely. Honestly, my biggest advice is to see what really tugs at your heartstrings, because when you are involved with something that is really important to you on that deep core level, you're going to pour your heart into it, and it's going to feel like less of a job or less like you're, having to do something, but it's going to be enjoyable, and you're going to be able to bring more of yourself to the situation. So when it's something that I care about on that deep level, I am all in, and I feel that's the same for everybody. When you really connect with the people that you're wanting to help, and it's not just about, well, what else can I put on my to-do list, because all of us are busy. That would be my biggest advice, is to make sure that it's something that really tugs on those heartstrings.
And people like you make a difference in our communities, and it's always fun for me to be able to talk to those folks who make a difference throughout the 14th district and throughout Cook County and elsewhere. I just want to thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate you taking the time not only to speak with me, but all your neighbors in the 14th district. And I'm grateful to work beside you as we build a better 14th district together.